Spirited Away by Hayao Miyazaki is a film that I can say broke my heart and healed it all within 2 hours. A film that is filled with beautiful art, character, and food symbolism. And when I found out about the onigiri recipe that so many people were making from this film, I immediately thought, I have to make this too. It just so happened that this assignment was perfect for this. While watching the film, all I could think about was how beautiful the art was and how much symbolism came from with the food presented in the film, and how history and memory can play an important role in describing the meaning behind the storyline and the recipe itself. The dish I am preparing today is called onigiri, which are Japanese rice balls in the shape of a triangle, filled with preferably salmon, although it could be any fish, and then wrapped in a piece of seaweed. The dish is shown about halfway through the film when Chihiro, or Sen as her name is altered for a brief period of time, becomes overwhelmed. She begins to worry and forget simple things like her name and her family history. She is looking for Haku, a river spirit that guides her on her adventure, and once she finds him, Haku comforts her and gives to her the onigiri, in which provides a small spell that is meant to protect her. Chihiro calms down and begins to work up the courage to defeat the sorceress Yubaba in control of everything. The small act of friendship from Haku was truly something sweet and provided this sense of renewal for Chihiro as she gains the courage to face the demons and spirits ahead of her. According to an article written by Susan J. Napier, this search involved a quest to rediscover and reincorporate elements of purity, self-sacrifice, endurance, and team spirit, all of which have been historically regarded as quintessentially Japanese, and reintegrate them into a form that has resonance for the contemporary world. This links us to the history behind onigiri as well. The origin of onigiri goes back all the way to the Heian period, when there was a single food called tonjiki. This was a brown rice packed into an egg shape, and according to Tokyo Restaurant Guide, it was given to servants to show appreciation during events in imperial households. Even with servants at that time, they were still shown appreciation with a token of food. Haku does exactly this with the onigiri given to Chihiro. Something that I noticed about Spirited Away was that it brought an extreme sense of nostalgia and déjà vu as I watched it. Though I had never seen this film until a few weeks ago, it felt as though I had watched it 100 times as a child. I linked this to memory and the colorful art of the film, bringing a sense of childhood back to me. Maybe because the film seems like a lot like a folk tale, in which the article by Emma Hartman states, the creatures in Spirited Away perform this work in a way that no other element of the movie can because each creature embodies a different element of Japanese culture, or is inspired by a classic folk tale. Given this, I believe that onigiri has a perfect relation to the idea of childhood memory in the film. Chihiro slowly loses her memory during her journey, but as soon as she bites into the onigiri, she feels at peace and renewed to face her fears. As the salmon or fish is tucked inside of the rice ball, our memories are tucked away in our brain, something that is hidden but can emerge when we see or hear things that remind us of those memories or give us nostalgia, just as we bite into the perfectly shaped salmon-filled rice. The evidence of the film's cultural elements in society is all within the fine details of the storyline itself. According to an article called Analysis on the Culture Concepts in the Movie Spirited Away, the background of this animation is set after the Japanese economic bubble. During the Japanese economic bubble, many people lost themselves. Miyazaki uses this movie to remind the younger generation to never forget their original aspiration and copy the history. Miyazaki wanted the cultural period of time to be brought to light as a way to show the younger generation that they shouldn't forget who they are and get lost in today's societal norms. To learn courage and hard work brings honor, and much of today's generation and culture have lost a lot of that. When this film shows Chihiro learning those lessons and becoming mature along the way, it sets an incredible example for those who have lost themselves or are beginning to. Spirited Away truly is a bright light of a film in a sea full of dimmed ones, and the beauty of the food, culture, history, memory, and art truly brings out the child in us, no matter if we have lost ourselves or are finding ourselves along the way. The onigiri in the film provides that finishing touch of the idea that kindness is all you need to carry in your heart to find your way in a dark, dark world.